Yeah, absolutely. I think you go 1-0, you come back early on in the second half, go 1-1, go down 2-1, go to 2-2, and then you think the game's totally open, and an opportunity for us to take some points. Unfortunately, that's not the case for us tonight. I think they took massive advantage of their opportunities. And yeah, of course, we're disappointed. I think when you talk about the run of form that we've had coming into this, I still think that that's an incredible accomplishment from the group as a whole, and still a big piece of yeah, us coming out and us having a bit more to us. So I definitely felt like we had chances. I think that we talked about it at halftime, just being a bit more clinical in our quality final action. Going 1v1, beating that player. What type of service are you putting in? Um, and then, yeah, I just unfortunately didn't walk away with any points, which of course is frustrating for us and disappointing for us. But do want to acknowledge the run that we've had coming into this. Would prefer to be in a different position to be able to say 5 wins in a row. But again, quick game here coming up. Got to prepare for it and go from there.
Go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, Bev. Just a couple quick ones. First, you mentioned a little bit, you got the game against San Diego coming up on the road.
Mhm.
What was the message to the team post game to, turn the page on a tough loss and, hopefully start a new win streak this Friday?
Yeah, I think there was a lot to be proud of. So acknowledging that, I think there was a few small things, small details today that we could have been better in that would have put us in a better position. So it's acknowledging that, taking accountability where we can, but also acknowledging the form that we've been in. I did think there was some very good things again from tonight. Again, they just put their chances away and put themselves in that position to walk away with 3 points. So yeah, I mean, again, it's a tight turnaround for us. I think we have a total of about 3 days, give or take. So yeah, a big one for us is just going to be continue to fight. Again, we've put ourselves in a really good position outside of this result tonight. So it's just about taking what we can from it, but continuing to move forward.
Um, And I asked McKenna about this a little bit,
Mhm.
but the team has had a lot of moments this year where they've been able to make adjustments in game or at halftime and whatnot. McKenna
Mhm.
scores 28 seconds after coming into the
Mhm.
match.
Mhm.
Was there something that you were talking to her about before coming on to the match that the team was able to target to lead to that goal, or is it really more about how she would fit into what the team was already doing on the field?
Yeah, I think she came in, and I think it was potentially her first touch of the game. It was a heck of a strike. Her first goal. So yeah, I think she just came in, she influenced the game. She obviously put us in that position to go 2-2 at that point. So really impressed by the way that she came in for us. But we just talked a little bit about the around and the opportunity for those wing backs to stay in positions to invite their press and still be in positions higher up the field where we felt we could pin them and expose that space in between center back and full back. And if we couldn't, the ability to go around them and switch the point of attack, but be quick in that decision. So I do feel like she came on and just took her chance, and it was a heck of a strike. So yeah, really proud of the way that she came in and influenced the game right away.
Go ahead, Michael.
Kind of sticking with that vein, I can't remember the exact number. It's like 5 out of the last 6 matches, or maybe now it's 6 out of 7 of the last matches. You scored a goal in the first 15 minutes of the second half. Kind of
Mhm.
what do you attribute kind of that run of early goals in the second half to?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think the group's ability to take information, as you guys just spoke about, on the fly within game, but also at halftime, and the willingness and energy to come out with just, yeah, a bit more to us, right? We get that opportunity to not only discuss what we feel we can't do better, acknowledge some things that we think are going well, but ultimately to pump the team up, to get them out there to fight, given whatever the circumstances, whether that's continue to go ahead or whether it's to get back into this game. So, yeah, obviously a great header, great ball in from low, great header from Taylor. So, I mean, two good goals. And then I think walking in at halftime, shots in reference to shots on target. We were in the lead in both spaces. So there's some things that we could be better at across the board that we'll have to analyze as a staff. And then just continuing to create as many quality final actions as possible will be really big for us.
In general, kind of hitting on that, I would say you'd have to be pretty pleased with the attack,
Yeah.
how it's going. You talk about kind of what do you think's going right on that side of the ball?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the timing, the relationships, spending more time, and the structures, we've really benefited from just getting, a lot more reps in it. And it's always dependent on what we believe opposition will allow us to expose. And so what spaces are different and why, how many we would play centrally and not, and why, is all based off of what we think would put the group in the best position possible to walk away with points. But I do think the more that we spend in it, the more time that we get in it, I think the group's continuing to show how threatening that we can be. And I do think still we created a lot tonight. It was just the quality of it. Yeah, I think just could have improved.
Yeah. I think you've shared with us a couple of times in this win streak that you tend not to dwell too much on tape or dwell too much in the wins. But, when you have a loss, you have a lot more to think about. Not that it's ever good to lose, but you've now got the chance to go back and look at maybe some things that aren't working well. Is that something you'll do in your kind of abbreviated run up to San Diego?
Yeah, of course. And now it's looking at what do we think would be worth the most in the sense of diving into with such a short turnaround. What is, potential immediate things that we probably should chat about versus, things maybe a bit more in reference to the amount of them. So yeah, we just have to be really narrowed in on what we want to address and why we would want to address it outside of the fact that we've just had the run that we've had. And you've had a little bit of a blip here in reference to the result. But I still think there's a lot of positives from it. So I'd stay pretty strong in that and the ability to turn around and find those positives still in all of it. Plus, hey, maybe here's an area that a small detail, again, as everyone talks about, the smallest details change the games, where and what we can discuss in that capacity would be important for us. But it has to be big enough for us to have that discussion with such a small lead in.
Go ahead, Brandon, if you have more.
Yeah, just quickly following up on that, and it is one of those small detail type things, but it seemed like Mal Swanson and Janice Joseph really had a seam there on the left side that they were able to work their way through repeatedly. Is that something that you can, look for ways to, to counter in the future? Or is it really more of an acknowledgement of two, national team caliber forwards, putting on a good game?
Yeah. Obviously, I thought they when they exposed us and how they exposed us, again, they punished us, unfortunately. But I still think in reference to what we prepared for, 4-1-4-1, potential 4-2-3-1, they come out in a 4-2-4, right? There's a lot of unknowns with that group at the moment, having the coaching changes, bringing people in, from a coaching staff perspective, what are they going to do? Are they going to change anything? And obviously, Mal had a bit more of a free roaming role today. So sorting out, like, is she picking a specific side? Is she coming lower, just to come lower and create space for others? Is she coming lower and then exposing that space? So I think just navigating potential different things that they presented tonight, I still thought as a group that we still had a game plan prepared that would still, be able to be executed in those different things. But I think it would just be looking at the game as a whole. Look, I think the game's very emotional. I think you can be emotional about a result. As you guys know, I've been very open with how we've started this season and the run of form that we've been in recently. So emotion aside, I need to watch the game back without that emotion to understand what maybe we would potentially do differently and what we really believe that went well. Does it match exactly how we felt on the sideline?